What's the future for you?
We're figuring that out, man. It's only
Are you
been about a week.
maybe vice president or?
I'm open to whatever allows me to have the biggest impact on the country.
Well,
That's what
Trump
I'm in
need to
this
be
for.
vice president. Well, Trump almost got his other vice president hung on January 6th.
Trump, I would say that
They was in front
I
of
would,
the.
I would
They
hope
was
that,
hang Mike Pence.
I think that this goes to a deeper point, though. People selection matters. If you're building a company, so I come from the world of building companies, the people you pick make all the difference. And so I think this was one of the learnings. I don't want to speak for, but I believe he would tell you the same thing if he were here, is if you put the likes of John Bolton or Nikki Haley or Mike Pence in your administration, but you have the right America First vision, but then your administration is staffed by people who are hostile to your actual vision.
Exactly.
But will stare you in your face and tell you, yes, sir, Mr. President, and say whatever it is that make you feel good, but actually go stab your back through the back door. I mean, Nikki Haley, for God's sake, was in Donald Trump's administration.
Yep.
Right? I think that hopefully is one of the great learnings of that first term. You know, for me, I'm going to look myself in the mirror and ask myself, what are my unique God-given skills? Every one of us has our own God-given gifts. How am I going to use those to do what's right for the country? I did that a year and a half ago, and I came to the conclusion it was to run for president. But the beauty of this country is that that choice doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the people of this country, and they spoke loud and clear. They're speaking loud and clear right now about who they want that to be. It's a man who shares 99% of my vision for this country in common and who's done it before, and so that's why I'm behind him. I'm going to do everything in my power this year to get him elected.
What's going on, everyone? Sauce Queen here today, and I'm going to make another Vivek video. I haven't done one in a long time, and Vivek's been making the rounds on alternative media. He's been showing up on podcasts. I think he went on Andrew Schultz. Now he's on the Harsh Twins Twin podcast, Twin Pod. I forgot what they call their podcast, but Harsh Twins have a podcast. And I watched some clips of it, and I found it very informative about why I believe Vivek is the best choice for VP. Because this is what the video is going to be centered around. It's going to be centered around potential names that's being dropped for VP. For some reason, the establishment think that Trump should pick Nikki Haley as VP. And I'm going to go a different direction like with this, because it seems like the Republican Party, especially the establishment Republicans, I think some of the more alternative Republicans, alternative media Republicans, they don't see Nikki Haley as an option, but for some reason, a lot of establishment type people, more on the mainstream media side, keeps bringing up Nikki Haley as, oh, she could bring in more voters. And the bringing more voters part, I honestly believe it's Vivek's wheelhouse, because Vivek was going on Breakfast Club. You saw Nikki Haley go on Breakfast Club. She embarrassed herself. She getting softball questions, and she's like dropping the ball. Vivek, hostile environment, and was able to still articulate himself, hold his ground, stand on business, as people from my community would say. And if you look at the comment section, you see, hey, I never thought about it that way. And that's the kind of skill set I think Vivek brings to the Trump agenda. An uncompromising, unapologetic, conservative vision. I'm enough rambling. Let's get into this next clip, kind of articulating what he sees as the next step for the Republican Party. Let's take a look.
You should go on Breakfast Club, man. Yeah. I just went on there.
I mean,
I know it'd be
you
very
changed
frustrating for you,
yeah.
but I think you actually, or whatever, programs that reach people outside of just our own base right now, because you could speak to it from the other side of having seen things a little differently, and here's how I see them today. I think that's powerful.
I think you did a great job. I mean, those hosts of that show is just god-awful, but I read the comments, and you handled them all well. And I think you changed a lot of minds while you're on that show.
I think we did too, actually.
Yeah, but those hosts on that show, disingenuous. I mean, they was up all night coming up with a catchy.
You're not doing it for the hosts.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the people, good-hearted people who have been force-fed a lot of garbage for a long time.
Yeah.
But again, it's our job as leaders. And you know what? There's a lot of different ways to be a leader. Cultural leaders are leaders too. But part of the job of a leader is to lead people to what they already know to be true but can't yet see with their eyes.
Right.
That's the job of a leader, is to open their eyes. And so sometimes I think we don't do enough of that. Leaders, so-called leaders in the Republican Party, just talking to our own tribe, as opposed to actually speaking with conviction and principle to people who may on the surface disagree with you, but come out realizing that it won't be like instantaneous, but it'll be somebody who sees it a little differently than they did when they first came in.
That clip right there, it should be, this is why Vivek should be the VP. No one else, right? And if you want to run on diversity, he's a diverse person too, right? But the way he's able to just articulate himself, he's not scared to go in and talk to other people. And that's how I grew up, honestly, right? I don't need to tell you guys my backstory, but I grew in a politically diverse family. Dad's Republican, mom's Democrat. That's how I grew up. I'm growing up with, hearing both sides of the issue, and I'll go, I agree on that on this one. And that's most of the time. I guess that's why I came out conservative as well. But the point is that I was used to people commingling with each other, even though they have different political beliefs, right? And I never heard my mom lambast, "Oh, Republicans are this." Now she does it because she's a single mom now, and all she watches is CNN. Now "Oh my God, Republicans this, Republicans that." I'm like, "Mom, ¿qué pasa?" Like nothing's going. Like they're exaggerating the effects. Here's why they're going at it from this point of view, Mom. And my girls go, "That makes sense, but I still don't like it." I said, "Okay, but at least you understand the rationale." And I think that's what we lost as a country. And then liberals will be the number one people complaining it's polarizing. Of course it's going to be polarizing. Most of the media is run by liberals. Most journalists are liberals. Why wouldn't it be polarizing? And as a pushback against this ideological monopoly that the media have, alternative media is dominated by more right-leaning, independent folks. It makes sense, don't it? That's if you choose to see it. Right? And I think some of the names that was dropped by Donald Trump, I do not like at all. Right? I hear. Who's it? He was interviewed recently. I got an article in front of me. I'll read it with you guys. Trump names 2 people when asked about potential VP picks. I don't know if Trump is throwing these names just to camouflage, because for a lot of people, especially for me, I think Vivek's the obvious choice. Right? That's just my beliefs, right? And if you want to have this argument about who can bring in more new voters, I put my money on Vivek. Yep, I put my money on Vivek. If you look at all the reaction channels, like for instance, I think Cartier Family, I think that's one reaction channel. They love Vivek, and I share that sentiment. Like, if I want to use my skin color and my race, if I want to use my skin color as an example, some of the biggest Vivek guys are people of my skin color. And I think that speaks to something, because we tired of the Democratic Party using us as skin suits. Mayor Eric Adams show off his diverse administration. Have you ever seen this much chocolate leading the city of New York? This is why they hating on me. Nah, I would hate on you because I find this shameful. I find this condescending. Oh, look, the retarded kids, they're actually able to do something. That's how I take it. I take it as an insult. I take it as a lack of dignity. If I'm in a meeting and someone highlights look how diverse our teams are, I'll walk out of the class. I'll walk out right now. I said, so you didn't hire me for my job? Oh, your job was important, but this is what happens when you have a lack of meritocracy. And I think in this next clip I'm about to show you, Vivek will articulate a perfect reason why he articulates exactly how I feel about the Democratic Party, about being put in some box. And I think this is one of the biggest. I think this is the best clips for why Vivek should be VP, because he can reach people that are the Republicans kind of gave up on reaching out to. Let's take a look.
I don't want to push the race thing, but I think it's very important that the Republican Party becomes a lot more diverse. Like, I know we shouldn't focus on things like that, but it's really
going to happen naturally, is what I believe.
I hope so.
I think it's going to happen naturally. I think it is happening naturally.
Yeah,
I think it's happening naturally, largely because a lot of people are realizing they've been duped. I mean, when I went to the south side of Chicago earlier in this campaign,
right,
everybody said it's a waste of time to go there, and maybe it was. Maybe that's why I got fourth. but I went there, went to Kensington, went to a lot of different places. What you realize is actually, and in particular, it was, I would say I got a lot of support. I don't know if it showed up in the polls or not. But I got a lot of support from black men by the end of the campaign. I think that just people who feel like they've been lied to, because they have been lied to. I think all of us have been lied to, but I think a lot of black men in particular have been put in a box. And no human being wants to be put in a box, but especially black men, I think, have been put in a big box.
Yeah,
and you start speaking the truth about some hard subjects. I mean, it's not even subjects that like necessarily would be in a demographic survey what appeals to black men. But when I started speaking hard truths about Ukraine, about the truth of what really I believe happened on January 6th and what we haven't been told, the hard truths about the things we've been lied to systematically about the Hunter Biden laptop, big tech censorship, origin of COVID, about the vaccine mandates. I think we've actually seen a lot of people come out of the woodwork. You talk about some of my pro-family policies. A lot of Hispanics love that. They really love that stuff. And I don't care if they're Democrat, but you're actually paying single mothers more money not to have a man in the house than to have a man in the house, and you have a breakdown of the nuclear family. I think that speaks to immigrants of many different stripes, and I think a lot of black Americans too.
It hurts them the most.
So I think it's going to happen naturally, but the thing that's stopping it from happening is you have to have a coherent message, right? So if a party doesn't have a message, and I think the Republican Party basically today doesn't, and I've done my part to try to change that, Biden bad is not an agenda, right? What do we stand for? Then people can say, okay, I believe in that or not. And the ideals that I think we should stand for, the ideals of 1776, the ideals in our Constitution, merit, free speech, open debate, the rule of law, the importance of family. I think these go far beyond black or white boundaries, that you're going to see natural diversity. The floodgates are going to open in the Republican Party. But when you don't have an ideology, right, and it's just a party, then it becomes what it looks like. So you have a bunch of people in suits, Paul Ryan or Mitt Romney or whoever, and they all look the same. Then, yes, naturally that doesn't draw a lot of minorities in. But I think the right answer to that is not to bring more suits that look like Paul Ryan or Mitt Romney, but they have a different shade of melanin and a different gender. I don't think that actually solves the problem. It's not authentic. Versus saying that old vision of the Republican Party that wasn't really based on a real ideology anyway, that's not attracting minorities, because then it's just like, okay, well, a bunch of people look like that. They don't make any sense to me. It's the total package. Versus, no. They're saying things that compel me and speak to my heart and speak to the same value set by which I live my life and raise my family. Boom, automatically, I think you're going to have a far more visually, but also even in a deeper sense, diverse, in a good way, Republican Party that is representative of where I think most of the country actually is.
100% agree. What Vivek was articulating there is the Democrats believe in a shallow version of diversity. Their diversity is only skin deep. While in the Republican Party and in conservative party, right? I like to say the conservative party. That's how I separate the establishment Republicans and the people voting for them. You see, there's a difference of ideology, and also it's mostly ethnic, based on, hey, these are ideals. We're not compromising on our ideals. Do you agree with these ideals too? Then you're a conservative. Then you're a Republican. Democrats have been pushing, and I believe it's because they have a monopoly on Main Street, on the media, which is what's primarily used to push and spread information. They also spread a narrative, I'll call it propaganda, that we should only worry about what someone looks like. They see in color. They want you to see color. While conservatives are like, no, we don't see color. We see character. We see values. We see ideology. Hey, do you believe the government should be this way or this way? Oh, you're a conservative. But I'm a black man. You're a conservative. But you guys are not right. But you're a conservative. That's all we care about. We don't care about what you look like. We care about what you think like. I have this argument that I always bring up all the time, and I think I might make a video later on today, that because it seemed like people are trying to make their race an alibi again. I'm gonna come for them now because I'm about to stand on business. But I believe, hey, I raised in Christian values. If I saw a random black guy and I saw a random white guy, black guy is straight out the boat. Like he just immigrated here. And I see a white guy and he gone to school in America all his life like I am. Who I relate more to? Odds are it's going to be the white guy. Because what I have in common with a foreigner. And this is the ideology like that I actually believe in. That I believe, hey, your culture, you relate more to people of your culture than someone merely because of the color of their skin. This is what I'm talking about. This is a superficial diversity. Right? You don't hire the best for the job. You hire people that look like you. Imagine a white man was sitting here bragging about, oh, look how white we are in this class. Look how much vanilla is leading the New York City. You would not hear the end of it by the race hustlers. So so Eric Adams, you fix racism by using racism? Comparing yourself to Jesus? Oh, that's not a good look. And this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, because this is why Democrats, liberals, progressives, they get so mad when they see a black man push conservatism as the future, as the way. Because it hurts this. They can't brag on this anymore. If the Republican Party becomes as multi-ethnic as they are, They can't go around back about that. They go, oh, look, we got a whole room full of black people. And they go, yeah, but your black people ain't as good as the conservatives over there, because the conservatives, they don't play that game. The black people that make it on the conservative side, they actually made it on their merits. You just put them up as a prop. And that's the funny part. All my life, I grew up with black Democrats trying to say that, black conservatives are props. They're I forgot what they say. They're just I forgot what they're saying. They're just a figurehead. They're just there to push Republican talking points. But then I go, why you never give your side the same critique? Why you never say Democrats are using black people as a cover? Why you don't say black people in the Democrat Party are used as a flag barrier, a representation? Because they the one who focus on representation. They the one who made you believe that you need representation in media. Because they know, hey, we're going to play this game. We're just going to put a bunch of people. The reason why they don't want to drop Kamala Harris, even though she's bad at her job, she keeps losing black staffers, is because she's black looking. And they don't want to bring her down, because then it'll be bad optics for them. Because they're the party of diversity, allegedly. To me, diversity of opinion matters more than diversity of skin color. Right? And I think this is why Vivek should be VP. He's able to reach people across the aisles. He's able to give and articulate a strong perspective on his positions. He's able to argue effectively, communicate effectively, use social media, reach the youth. And I think this is something that Trump should take into consideration when he's picking his VP pick. Tim Scott, love him, but he's not a good communicator. That's just my thoughts. All right. Kristi Noem, I'm sure she's a great senator, governor, I forget her position. But I honestly believe that Vivek should be the VP. Because I see that whoever Trump elects as VP, I see him effectively as the successor for 2028. But that's just my thoughts. Let me hear yours in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.